Hey there guys, this is Chris and I've made a little mod I wanted to show you today. It's the chain of command cardboard and paper mod, and it actually transforms the tabletop chain of command into a board game. And right now there are 3 different maps, 6 playable nations. Today I want to show you a little game. The forces clashing are the Polish and the Russians. As you might know, Hitler and Stalin divided up Poland in 1939, and the Polish didn't even know what hit them. After the Germans came, the Russians came a few weeks later. First of all, I'll show you the Russian and Polish corps platoons we have. I've used regular infantry platoons. You can find the lists on the Lardies blog. And the Polish forces, their headquarters consists of a podporucznik, which is a lieutenant, a sergeant, which is a sergeant, as you might have guessed, a 46 millimeter mortar, a anti-tank rifle, and 3 infantry sections consisting of 14 riflemen, a bar section, and I have to say those bars, they only hit with 3 firepower, so with 3 dice, but they can re-roll once, so this is a nice plus for them. And we have the Plutonovi. Okay, now the Russian forces. As you could see, the Polish are very high in numbers, and the Russians start with a lieutenant of course, senior leader, a starshina, which is also a senior leader, and 3 infantry sections consisting of a sergeant, 12 riflemen, and a LMG team, and the DP-28 is hitting a lot harder than the bar. You can see it has firepower 6, and that's a plus for the Russian. The racks that I've printed on my 3D printer, because those counter-based games you have to look forever for certain units. So this was a nice idea I took from Thingiverse, and I just adjusted the size of the trays for my purpose, and it works like a charm. And first of all, we have to do patrol phase. The maximum movement is, or the movement is 2 hexes per thingy. Now we have to roll for the attacker. He gets 3 moves. We will use this tray to... Oh, the Russians get 1 free move. Kind of a bummer. I will move on the Polish right flank. So I'll take these two. Green is Polish and red is Russian. So the Polish gain the initiative. First they move up on this side because there is a hill on this side, and if you are on the hill you can kinda shoot down on your enemies, and if they are hiding in fields or behind low walls or hedges, they don't get cover from that, or cover is reduced by 1 level. Now we will move right here. Last game told me that it is dangerous to have the Russians on the flank, but I also, as a Polish defender, need that town. Yeah. And I'll go right here. And if they are 2 hexes apart from each other, the counters will be locked. So now I could lock the Russian. I will mark them with A1. And now the Russian will move in. Or he can move right here. See? And he'll lock both points. Poland, number 3 and 2. Alrighty then. Now the Polish are up again. I don't know if I gain any benefit from... I will go there. And then these will be locked. The last Russian counter will be locked automatically too, because there aren't any Polish counters in play anymore. And so this is number 3 and number 4. Now I will determine jump off points. And this is high tech. I don't have a laser pointer, but I have these right here. And these are rulers. So they can easily get into that church. Which, oh, that's not as nice. They can set up shop right here in the woods. Okay, that's pretty limited. I can go behind that hill to give me some more cover, because you can, the line of sight doesn't go through the hill, it's only on top. You can see everything that's going on, except maybe what's behind that church. Next up, the Russians. They will have to go, oh, do they? Yeah, they have no other choice than to place their jump off point right here, and I will place the Polish jump off point, the next Polish jump off point at that bridge right here. Okay, that's kind of a bummer. Okay, yeah, still can move it here. So, oh, last Russian point, last Polish jump off point is somewhere in this field right here, or yeah. Okay, so now I will move the tokens on there. So 3 Russian jump off points already open. That's not very good. Last game they had a jump off point in here, which was a lot better, and one right there. But today the Polish knew what's coming, and so they were prepared. Now we have to determine force morale. Let's use the magic box again. Make some noise. And it is very bad for the Polish. It's only 1, which means a minimum of 8, and a 6 is 10 because of the scenario for the Russian attackers. I'll use these little friends to mark the force morale. So it's 11 for the Russians, because on support the highest thing you can get is a 10. So I will roll the dice and let's see what the outcome will be. It is a whopping 10 support points for the Russians. This means 5 for the Polish, but 5 is an odd number, so I'll have to round down to 4, but the force rating of the Soviet infantry platoon 39 for 1939 and 40 is +6, and the rifle platoon of the Polish army is +5, so the Polish will gain the point they lost from the odd number. So they have 5, and the Russians have a whopping 10 support points. As a Russian, I will have to lay down a lot of firepower on the Polish, not expect too much armored resistance, and this is why I go for the Maxim medium machine gun. You can put it right there, and just a second, I put these here on the counters. They were printed on thick photo paper, and these are for furniture, so the furniture won't make scratches in your floor. So you can get them pretty cheap at IKEA or whatever. This is playing Chain of Command on a budget, actually. And that's 3 points. A T-28, which is pretty nasty on my part, because the Polish will have a hard time to penetrate that thing. And for 1 point I can select exactly nothing. Engineers, but they can shoot, there are no barbed wire. Why should I take them? Or I could take maybe an SMG. There it is. I will spend it on a rifle team. I don't know if that's pretty smart, but who knows. So their firepower changes, and it's now 13. And if they get in close range, which is under 18 inch, I guess, then you'll have 15 firepower. The Polish have to select a support. Well, they have lots of cheap stuff, and I have 5 points. That means I could go for for 2 tankettes. There they are. The bad boys. Very small and very fragile. But if they can deliver a punch, a surprise hit on 4 armor of the T-28, there would be a lot won for the Polish. So now we will roll the command dice for the Russians. And they start off with this roll, which is mediocre, I'd say. And that's 2. And now a 2, a 3, and a 4. So I will send with my 2. I will call in the infantry platoon with the infantry squad with the submachine gun, and they will start right here. You can easily stack them. And facing is of course like this. So, and with the 3 I will activate or call in the big boy. I can come in on this edge or on this edge, but I'll choose this one and try to flank the Polish with the tank. And we have a 4, but I'm not ready to send my senior leader or one of the senior leaders to the field. And that's it for the Russian phase. Now we'll roll for the Polish. So it's 1 chain of command point, a 1, a 3, and a 4. And a 2, of course. So they will get a green D12. Yay. So let's see. What could I do? I will bring in right away the tankette. With this one right here. And it's facing like that. And of course, it will take a shot at this big mofo right away. So it has 4 AP. So it's a clear view, I guess. I need a 5 to hit it. With 2 dice. It is a 5. So hit. Now I can use 4. It's frontal armor. And it's exactly 0 hits. And now we don't have to roll anymore, because if I don't hit anything, then there is no save needed. Or is it? No, let's do it. Let's roll 4 Russian dice. Maybe I'll get equal hits and saves. Nope, not at all. He saved with all 4 dice. So that's the way I know tankettes, really. That's what they do for you. Okay, the tankettes. So that's... Oh, I've rolled the freaking dice. Okay, so I know there was a 2 and a 4. I won't use the 4, but I will use the 2. And... oh no, it was a 1, a 2 and a 4 left. So I have another 3. But I will go for the 1 instead and call in the anti-tank rifle on here. And I will take a shot at the side armor of the tank. And I have... I'm in a field, so let's say you're partially obscured, and I need a 7 to hit, and I've rolled a 9. So I have 3 AP, and I score 2 hits because I'm hitting the side armor. That's a good thing. And now the Russian tank commander has to save 4 dice. He only got 1 save, so it's 1 net hit. Let's see. And the result is a 3. 1 net hit, a 3 is 1 shock. Vehicle may not be activated next phase. So I have to grab a shock marker. These boys here on a shock marker. And a no activation marker on top of it. So maybe... okay. That's pretty bad for Russians. Tanks can have a maximum of 3 shock. So, that's pretty bad. Okay, now I have a 2 left and I will call in a squad. I will place them where should I place them? I will place them on the hill so I can shoot over these woods directly at here or even here. I am on top of the world, Mom. So, okay, well, I'll shoot right away. Let's hit those boys. I'm on top so I can see. In the woods there is no reduced cover while firing from a hill because you can't see really through trees. So roll the bar first, and you see always all of the infantry guys fire because it's pretty hard to determine who blocks line of sight here. You could easily like divide them up but I won't do that. First goes the bar. It's 2 hits for the bar. Now we'll have to get 13 dice in here and best close the lid and just make it rumble. Wow, and it's 2 hits from the bar plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. That's 9 hits in total for the Russian squad, which is kind of fucked up for the Russians at least. So we'll need 9 red dice, 9 of Stalin's dice, and see how their soldiers fare. They are in light cover because of the woods, and this means 4 and 5 are shock and 6 is a kill. Keep your fingers crossed, comrades darling. But this seems like a really, really good hit from the Polish. There is 4 dead and 1 shock. And I've rolled a 1, check the leader. It is the leader. And what happens to the leader? Wounded, no activation for rest of the turn. I have a no activation token for the leader. It's this one right here. And I will get a casualty marker, which is this little guy right here, and put a little die on it. So it's 3 casualties and 1 point of shock. That's a bummer. The good thing is I didn't give the submachine gun to the leader. Okay, so pretty depleted already, and I guess that's it for the Polish phase. I could call in a senior leader, but no, I didn't want to. Now the Russians will take revenge for their fallen comrades, or at least they try to take revenge. We all know the game pretty well. It doesn't work out the way you think very often. This is a double phase for the Russians. Snake Eyes in the 3. Could have been worse. Okay, so I can't activate the squad over there, which is a bummer. I can't activate the tank, which is a bummer too, and I forgot to roll for the bad thing happen because junior leader wounded 5. Junior leader wounded. No, it's a -1. So the Russians go from 11 to 10 on the scale. This is kind of bad. The Polish are sitting at 8. So I have a 3 in Snake Eyes. So I don't have anything. Oh, I have my Maxim MMG. But the thing is, what should I shoot at? I can't see those chaps over there. I can, but then it's in the open. But you know, we should be able to give this fucker here a hell of a ride, and that's what we'll do. That's only two guys, so I will roll 10 d6. I don't know where I put. Fuck. Oops. I don't know where I put the friggin' lid. I can see it anymore. So Is it in close range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's not close range. Okay, so 5s and 6s, that's 4 hits, and 1 die went missing, so I have to, so that's 5 hits on the little anti-tank rifle, and never put them anywhere alone where they can't like have any squads to take their damage. So that's kind of a mistake on my part. So we have 6 hits, and come on, 6 saves. No, it's 1 dead and 2 shock, which means that this little thingy is already pinned. One casualty, a pin marker, and 2 shock. Well, I can use the 3, so I will send another squad to the field. Behind this building. And that's it for the first Russian phase, but they get another phase. Those lucky bums. Maybe not that lucky, because that's not a very good roll. That's my cat, you can hear her. She doesn't like to be locked out. Okay, so it's 2 4s, 1 point chain of command, 1 chain of command point, and a 3 and a 1. So with the 1 I can activate this little beauty again, and with the 3 I can take that one off. I will activate the tank commander, and his first order will be to take off the shock, and his second order will be that's kind of a bummer, because he has to turn his turret, which is already in order, or turn the whole thing. I have to turn anyway, so I can face the tankette with my frontal armor. So that's it for the tank. It can move again, that's fine by me. And now I will shoot at the... First I will let the cat in, and then I will shoot with the medium machine gun at the last guy handling the anti-tank rifle. Give me that lit. Okay, that's only 1 hit as far as I can see. That's too bad. but it could be enough. And it is a shock. That's 3 shock on a one-man team. Shouldn't he rout? He routs. Or he is broken. Let's say he is broken. So pin marker goes off to broken. And they reverse 2d6 in the direction from being shot at, and it's a 6, so that means they are barely on the board. That's it for the Russians. A single 6, which is nothing. 1, 2, 4, and 3. It's a pretty nice roll. So first I will try to take a shot at this monster there again, and then I will call on, okay, that's not very smart. I will call on a squad. Make them fire at, so it's 15 and 3 again. Bar. Shots, which is 1 hit. And that, my friends, is a lot of hits. 7 hits on the machine gun. Never rolled for Team Broken, but I will do that later. So it's 7 hits on the machine gun. And that is in the open. So, whew, that is in the open. So 5 and 6 kill, 3 and 4 are shock. 2 shock, 4 dead. Is it the junior leader? Yes, it is. And he has a wound and can't be activated. Sounds familiar? Yeah, sure. He cannot be activated. And here we have three dead. 3 dead. And 2 pins. That means only 1 is left. So they are broken too. They are broken. And that means they reverse 2d6. They run as far as they can. And it's an 8. They are shot at from this direction, so they move over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Junior leader. Oh, that's 2 bad things to roll. First of all, we forgot the Polish rifle. It's a 6. Team breaks. A 6 is -2 for the Polish, so they are at 6 right now. Now for the Russians, their team broke. It's a 2, that should be a -1. Team breaks, yeah, -1. Oh, and after that, junior leader routes. But first things first, so they are at 9 right now. And attack of the killer cat. So, where was I? Goddamn thing. So, that was right here. Junior leader routes from table. A 1 is a -1. So the Russians got the better part of it. Wasn't very clever to send that thing in. Right there. That was pretty good for the Polish. Now the tankette will fire at this guy over here, or at least try. He needs a 5 to spot it or to hit it. He passed the test, and now it's 4 AP. That's another 4. Gotta keep. It's 4 AP. That's 1 hit. And 4 saves. That's 2 saves. That's more than he needed. So the shot bounced off. And now we have a 4 left. And there we can bring in our sergeant and put him right here and take off some shock. Exactly 3 shock. So this guy might be alone, but he's not broken anymore. He lost his pal in the battle, so he cried a lot and tried to run off, but now it's all good again. Because Biggie's sergeant came and gave him a pat on his head. So, okie dokie. That's that. And that's for the Polish. Now back to the Russians. Keep that red dye, green dye thing going. Seems like an interesting role for Russians. First of all, they will try to shoot this one a new bumhole, and with the tank commander says "Davai, tanket," and after that, he will activate. And I'll bring on a senior leader over here to take off the shock. Oh, he could have moved, by the way. The no activation token is only for a phase. So and I have another 1, but I don't have anything I can activate with the 1 because my freaking machine gun ran off. So that's all I could do. First of all, shoot, try to spot his ass with 2d6. That's why I used the thing. It's a 5. Small or low profile, so I would have needed a 6. And yeah, I only had a 5, so no hit on the tankette. I'm sorry. The tankettes would be a nice band name. So now we'll building, or at least try to. These guys. I'll roll to that 2d6. Or should I make a run at it? No, I just move regularly. Okay, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll go over here and shoot at half effect at these bummers, because I have to go in right here. That's the entrance. It's pretty bad. I could go through windows, but nah. Okay, so half effect, it's 19 dice. Makes, you have to round down, that makes 9 dice for the Russian attackers. And it is exactly 2 hits. Fantastic. They are stationary over there. The target is stationary, so it gets the benefit of the wheat field. Rolls for 2 saves, and there's only 1 shock. That's nice. The lieutenant will take off the shock and order his infantry squad to run into that building. So 2d6 is, it's 6. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They made it in there. They can't shoot out of the windows because they're in this spot, except in this direction, but they are in there. That's the biggest thing. They get a shock. They gain a shock back, so to say. And we will roll for the Polish. Single 6 is always a bad thing, so that's nothing. A 5 is a point. Chain of command. 4, 1, and a 3. So I could activate that tankette again, but he just makes me lose my mind. He can't hit worth shit. But let's give it another try. And we could activate that little gun again. Shoot at the big tank. And the 4 is, I could activate him again. So first thing I will do, they all concentrate on that big tank. Those infantry guys will shoot at the tank and try to make it draw back from the board, and therefore we have to roll only the saves, and if the tank fails to make a save, it has to draw back 2d6. And it makes 2 saves, so the attack failed. Next is the tankette. Tries to spot or hit the big T-28 and it does with an 8. So 4d6 and exactly 0 hits. Let's see, or 0 damage, whatever. Let's see, and the tank scores at least 1 save, so nothing happened there. And now the little guy tries to shoot the tank. And it's not a side armor anymore, it's frontal armor. He has to spot first, and he needs a 7 to spot him because he has to shoot through the wheat field. And he rolls snake eyes, which is for a mortar no ammo left, but for the AT rifle it doesn't have any meaning. So that's it. It was kind of a rubbish phase for the Polish. I have to roll for the Russians again. And it is 2 5s, which brings them up to 5 chain of command points, 2 4s, and a 1. Okay, we have to move the senior leader, and the 1 is completely useless, and the other 4 is useless too. What the heck? We are moving the senior leader. He's running, or he's using all his 3 dice to run, and he scores an astounding 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That at least brings him to the edge of the building, and he can command the infantry squad. Back to the Polish. The Polish roll is 6, which is useless. 2 1s, a 5, which is a chain of command point, and a 3. And the 3. I will call in another squad because those guys over there, I don't like that they are coming in. I can shoot at them because I can see them. But I can shoot to this side, but the line of sight to the infantry squad is blocked. So that's it. And then another 2 with another 2. I guess we stay on the hill with the infantry squad. And oh no. We call that one in with a 2, and we try to shoot again with the little tankette. First of all, we have to spot the monster thing over there, and a 10 is good enough to spot it. So 4 hit die, and no, not a single hit again. So that's it for the Polish. That was kinda quick. The Russians have a good roll. Snake eyes. 2 and 2 3s. which makes me call in another infantry squad right here. They can't shoot at anything because they can't see anything. Their line of sight is blocked. Well, I could make him come in over here, face that way, and shoot these guys. Hits on 5 and 6. 1, 2. It's alright, it's alright. It's 6 hits. Nope. It's 2 dead and a shock. Is it a junior leader? No, it's not. They got lucky. So it's another point of shock. We'll put in a little die on here. Make that 2. And 2 dead. Call in. Now we'll shoot at it again with this section. We'll move that one up 1d6 and fire at half effect. It's 2 inch. 1, 2. And we'll fire at half effect, which is still 9 dice. That is 4 hits. That is 4 hits. And 1 dead. Is it the leader? Oh yes it is. What happens to him? Junior leader wounded 5. Lightly wounded -1 command initiative. So there's only 1 command initiative left. He gets a -1. Junior leader wounded, let's roll for that. It's a 3. Junior leader wounded -1. Okay. And that brings the Polish to 5. To 5. On the force morale count. The end is getting near. So I have another 2 waiting and another 2. I could make a 3 and activate that tank and just say, okay, whatever, what do I need the 1 for? So that's what I'll do. I will shoot at that thing again. It's a 6 to spot. And it is a 3. Dipshit. Now back to the Polish. They have 4 dice. Oh no, 5 dice left. And it is another chain of command point. A 4, 2 3s, and a totally useless 6. So we have a 4 on here now. Oops, not 8. That would be great, but with the 3, okay, you can easily spot them. So this guy will shoot at the infantry squad. He has 6 HE they are in no cover, so 4, 5s, and 6s. It's 2 hits. It's 2 hits. And snake eyes. So no effect. Tankette has been pretty useless. Although it carries a 20mm gun, it has been total crap. But I will call in another tankette. Put it right next to it. And fire again. It's 6 dice. And this time, in the open, it's 4, 5, and 6 to hit, isn't it? No. It's 5 and 6. So it's 3 hits, and whoa! A shock and 2 dead. Is it the leader? It is the leader. And he is lightly wounded and can't be activated this phase. So that's another bad thing to roll. Junior leader wounded. A 2 is a -1. So Russians have plummeted to 7. Now I have a 2 left. With the 2, I will move this squad in the tower. That's 3, that should be enough. 1, 2, 3, yeah, I can. So they are in the tower now, they can see everything, they can see over the town hall, and they can shoot at them, they can shoot at them, they can shoot at everybody now. Which I will... No, I only had 1 because I activated it with my just the section and not the junior leader. So I have a 4. Not sure what to do with it. And I could take off some shock. This guy here, I will take off the 2 shock. And that's it for the Polish. Or I will take off 2 shock and order them to fire at the tank again. So it is... Okay, whoa. Yeah, so I will try to drive the tank off, or I could... No, I will try to do that. And the tank has managed no saves, which means he draws back 2d6, and that's a 7, and he is off the board. Rich said you could call, he's not destroyed, you can call him back again. Nevertheless, I would count that at support routes. It's a 2. Support routes, that's -1. The Russians are on a 6 also now. No, the Russians are up again. They roll a single 6, which is nothing. And one, 2, 3, 3. So we'll call in the tank back in. Here I am again, here I am. Now I will take a shot at the little tankette. I have to, it's small, so I have to do 6 to spot it, and it's a 10. So I easily spotted it. Only 4 AP, which is kind of a bummer, but better than nothing. And it's 2 hits, which is bad for the cat because it only has 1 armor, so it will be 1 net hit at least, and it is 1 net hit. So a 2, 1 shock, no activation for the gunner next phase, and 1 shock. That's kind of bad. Oh no, this is the wrong one. It's right here. 1 shock. Tankettes only can do 2 shock, or can take 2 shock, and then that's it. Now I have a 3, a 2, and a 1 left. I can make him turn. Oh no, he's not Russian. I can make him do shit except dying. The infantry squad will move up again. First of all, the senior leader will. It's a 3 and a 1. He will take off 1 shock, and then order them to move up 1d6. A 4, so 4. Now they can shoot at the guys in the bell tower. Now I have to figure out how many men can shoot, because, and I would say there's 1 window to shoot from, which is not very much. 2 people fit at a window, so that makes a DP28 and the SMG gunner. So it's close range for the SMG, so it's 4 plus 6 is 10. And it is close range also. So 4s, 5s and 6s. So it is 6 hits. The guys on the bell tower are in hard cover. Two of them are dead, and yeah, that's it. 2 of them die, and the junior leader is hit, and he dies. That's pretty bad for those guys right here. Bad thing happens. A 2. Junior leader killed should be a -1, and I'm not completely sure. So, and they get another casualty marker right here. Junior leader killed. A 2. Junior leader killed is a -1. So the Polish lose a chain of command die. They are now down to 4. I will now make those guys run over at the town hall. They score a 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, so we'll land right here. Get 1 shock. That's not very good for the Polish, and the Russian phase is over. Okay, now what to do? No gunner activation. No bomber activation. So I have to score big and try to kill that T-28 over there. 5 to spot, easily done. It's a 9, and now shoot at him with 4 AP, and it's a 4 hits. 4 hits. And the tank manages no saves. 4 to 6, it explodes. The tank explodes. That is a bummer for the Russians. The tank is done. Explodes. So another 6. Okay. It's a -2. So the Russians are at 4-2. Now, my capacity for filming is done now. We'll leave it at that. It's pretty suspenseful, and if you want the game to continue, you can write me a message. I will save this for now, and best of luck and lots of fun playing, guys. I enjoyed it. Have a good time. Cheers, Chris.